Wu Wei means non-action, but not inaction, not passivity, not laziness. It's effortless action, natural movement, doing without forcing. This is the heart of Taoist practice, the key to living in harmony with Tao. Most people spend their lives forcing, pushing, struggling, against circumstances, against nature, against themselves. This creates friction, exhaustion, suffering. They work hard but accomplish little, exhaust themselves without real progress. This is not Wu Wei. Wu Wei is doing what comes naturally, what flows, what requires minimal force, like water finding its path. It doesn't push against obstacles, it flows around them, follows the path of least resistance, yet it arrives, it accomplishes, without struggle. Consider a tree growing. It doesn't force itself to grow, doesn't strain upward, doesn't struggle against gravity. It just grows, naturally, following its nature. This is Wu Wei, perfect action without effort, complete accomplishment without force. But humans have minds, desires, plans, expectations. These interfere with natural flow. You want things to be different than they are. You force outcomes. You resist reality. This is the opposite of Wu Wei. This is Wei Wu Wei, action against the Wei. It creates suffering. The Tao Te Ching says the softest thing in the world overcomes the hardest. Water wears away stone, not through force, through persistence, through following its nature. This is Wu Wei's power, not dramatic, not forceful, but ultimately unstoppable. Wu Wei requires trust, trust in natural process, trust in the Tao, trust that things unfold as they should, without your interference, without your control. This is difficult. The mind wants control, wants certainty, wants to manage, but this is ego, not wisdom. The sage practices Wu Wei by doing what needs doing, when it needs doing, without excess, without deficiency, just right action, at right time, in right measure, not too much, not too little. Perfect response to present circumstance. How do you know what's right action? You feel it, not through thinking, through sensing. There's a quality to action that flows naturally. It feels effortless, obvious, clear, compared to action that's forced, that struggles, that fights reality. Think of having a conversation. When you're forcing it, trying to impress, managing perception, it's exhausting, artificial. But when you're natural, responding authentically, it flows. No effort, no strain. This is Wu Wei in conversation. Or consider work. When you're forcing yourself, pushing through resistance, fighting fatigue, work becomes torture. But when you're aligned, when action flows naturally, hours pass, work happens, without struggle. This is Wu Wei in action. The key is alignment, not with what you think should happen, but with what is happening, with the natural flow of circumstances, with the Tao. You don't create this flow, you join it, like stepping into a river. The current exists, you just allow it to carry you. But this doesn't mean passive acceptance of everything. Wu Wei is active. You still make choices, take action, shape circumstances, but from within the flow, not against it, with it, through it, as it. Imagine martial arts. The master doesn't force technique, doesn't muscle through. Technique flows naturally, responding to opponent's energy, using it, redirecting it, minimum force, maximum effect. This is Wu Wei applied to combat or governance. The Tao Te Ching speaks much of this. The best ruler rules so naturally people don't notice. Everything functions, nothing forced, natural order maintained through minimal interference, not control, facilitation of natural process. This applies to self-governance too. The best way to govern yourself is naturally, not through harsh discipline, not through force of will, but through alignment, with your nature, with circumstances, with Tao. Things happen without forcing them to happen. Wu Wei is ecological wisdom too. Nature manages itself perfectly without human intervention. In fact, human intervention usually disrupts. Natural systems self-organize, self-regulate, self-heal, when left alone, when allowed to follow Tao. This is Wu Wei at ecosystem level, but modern life is all Wei, all forcing, all control. We manage, manipulate, manufacture, force outcomes, impose order, fight natural processes. This creates problems, environmental, psychological, social, all from not practicing Wu Wei. The return to Wu Wei requires unlearning, releasing control, trusting process, allowing natural flow. This feels dangerous, irresponsible, like nothing will happen if you don't make it happen. But this is illusion. Things happen naturally, always have, always will. Your interference often hinders more than helps. Your forcing creates friction. Your control creates rigidity. When you release, when you trust, when you practice Wu Wei, life flows more smoothly, not because you're doing less, because you're aligned. Wu Wei is not recipe, not technique you learn once. It's ongoing practice, moment-to-moment awareness of forcing versus flowing, of struggling versus allowing, of Wei versus Wu Wei. You notice, you adjust, you align. Again and again, this becomes way of life, not just in meditation, not just in special practices, but in everything. How you work, how you relate, how you live. Wu Wei infuses all of it, making everything easier, more natural, more aligned with Tao. The Tao Te Ching says, do nothing, and nothing is left undone. This is Wu Wei, not literal inaction, but action so aligned with natural flow, it seems like no action. Effortless accomplishment, perfect efficiency. This is possible, this is the way, this is Tao.